Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome once again to the live coverage of the 2025 U-18 Curling Championships. We are live at the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. We're on to Thursday. There's about 5 draws left of the round robin, if I've got the math right. And playoffs start tomorrow afternoon. A lot to be determined as to who's going to make those playoffs yet. My name's Sean Joyce, joined for this broadcast by Tracy Streifel. And we've got women's action from Pool B. And in this particular matchup, the Nova Scotia team, Nova Scotia 2, is one of those teams that was late arriving. They actually only got here at 1:30 in the morning yesterday. They played their first 2 games yesterday, lost 2, but realistically, they're still in the playoff hunt because right now, the third place position in that Pool B is a 3-way tie at 2-2, and one of those teams that's tied at 2-2 is this New Brunswick team. So, Tracy, a lot at stake here, and a tough spot for the Nova Scotia girls to be in because they're playing catch-up. You know, they played the top 2 teams in their pool yesterday, lost both of those games, but a little unfair. It's just the luck of the draw with how things worked out. They played the top 2 teams that have already been here for 2 days. But hopefully they learned something yesterday, and they control their own fate. They're playing all the teams they're chasing. Teams draw to the button before the game starts to determine who's got last rock in the opening end. Is the Nova Scotia team winning that draw to the button? They've got last rock.
Yep, Kylie.
The New Brunswick girls getting us underway here. This is Carlin Jacobson is the lead. Alexandria Pope the second. She goes by Alex. Kylie Spadoni the third. Kate Gaines the skip, and the coach is Bill Gaines. They play out of the Gage Golf and Country Club in Oromocto, New Brunswick. And for Nova Scotia, the lead, Annalise LeBlanc. She goes by Annie. The second is Ellie Tully. Normal third would be Lily McDonald, and we understand she's out sick this morning. She caught a stomach bug. She did play the 2 games yesterday, and her sister came over and talked to us before the broadcast and said she's really disappointed to have missed this game. Was looking forward to the chance to play on the broadcast, but we're sure she's in the hotel room watching. So they brought in their alternate, Olivia McDonough. She will play third and vice as well. Olivia Guthrow is the skip, and Marion McCauley the skip. They play out of the Truro Curling Club in Truro, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, so we've been told that there's quite a few players that are struggling with some illness this week.
It seems to happen at these types of competitions all the time. There'll be a bug that goes around, and I think it's even happened a little bit this year from what I've heard at the Scotties. Now, whether or not anybody's missed any games yet or not, I'm not positive there, but it just seems to go with the territory when you bring this many players from different parts of the country that a bug's going to come with somebody that nobody's got immunity to yet.
Yeah.
We've got some rocks in play here in the first end. The guard thrown up to start. 2 come-around attempts that both end up in the open, but that Yellowstone not in a terrible position. It's in front of that red at the back 8 and in front of the tee line. They're going to have to make a play on it. Can't roll behind cover or they jam. All of the commentary games this week have been on sheet A, so we've seen this sheet a number of times. That side of the sheet does seem to run a little bit straighter, but perhaps probably moves bigger at the end because you see they're still taking middle of the 12-foot to get into that button area. And they'll take the same amount of ice on the other side. It's just that the other side, the curl seems to be a little bit more gradual. This one will run out there for a long time, and then one of the people I was working with, I think it was yesterday, suggested it's almost like it puts on the signal light at the hog line and it just moves hard.
It hooks in at that point.
Right about there is where it should start to go.
Yeah, they have to know the breaking point and be ready for it. Very nice shot.
That was the 5th stone of the end. They do have the option now to make a play on the guard if they choose. Gonna attempt to draw down and sit on the face of it.
Yeah, I think so. I got a 53 on that, so we can definitely sweep it there for you.
We did get some confirmation yesterday on the playoff format as well. It's the top 3 teams from each of the 3 pools will be in, as well as the next best record. The top 6 will go directly to the quarterfinals, and those last 4 of those 10 teams will play for the last 2 spots in the quarterfinals. Just waiting for confirmation on exactly whether they're taking the best 6 overall or the top 2 from each pool. Either way, both of these teams know they control their own fate. There's, in this pool, right now, third place is already at 2 losses. It's a little tough to look at. Usually when you're getting to this point in the week, everybody's played similar number of games with the late arrivals on some of these teams. At this particular pool, it's only 1 team. There's a couple of pools where I think there are 2 teams that have only played a couple of games so far.
Really hard. Hard, gotta go. Any roll. That's okay.
Makes the hit, stays right there. New Brunswick sits 2, Nova Scotia with last rock here in the opening end. Electing to make the play on the stone at the back of the forefoot. It is second shot. I think if she rolls in, she could get shot rock. The danger then, though, is you're still behind the tee line. This is out quite a ways. She's going to have to really curl just to hold the shooter. There's danger of a jam at the back as well. Clips it, but removes both of those stones from the rings. The shooter will roll out of the rings as well. So New Brunswick sitting 1, buried. Just biting the top of the button. Looking to come around again. Opting to go from the other side this time.
Try to take some off, tight. Whoa.
This is curling early.
Yeah, she was quite late.
Carlin, hard! Hey, whoa! Stop! Whoa, all off. 16.
I never really got
That's
a
okay, that's fine.
chance, that rock. She was just a little inside right off the get-go.
First thought they were looking to play the come around. It would have to be tempting, and I'm looking at Marion McCauley. She's debating whether or not to get up. I think if you played the peel here, there's enough drag that it might actually kill that rock in the rings too.
I don't mind the peel. Okay. Just off nose here. Yep.
She can hit, they're so close together. If she hits half a rock on the first one, it will drag, and I bet you it makes contact with the one in the rings. This is going to be a lot thicker than half a rock, though.
Hard roll. Sorry. No, you're good.
Gets the 2 guards, holds the shooter for a corner as well. That could still come into play.
Yeah. Okay. 16. Same thing. Okay, just the same thing, like 16. 16.5 is probably okay too. We got this.
Kylie being asked to replace the guard now.
Little out at the end. Carlin's rock. Okay, whoa. It'll come down. It will come down. Leave it. Leave it. It's good. It's good. Alex. Yeah, Alex. Yep. Hard curl. Yep. Curl. Hard. 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 You got it. Hard. Keep moving. Yep. Yeah, all the way. Whoa. Good sweep, guys.
So that was a 15-second rock, so it's very keen out there.
Probably just overswept a little bit. They were worried about it getting back to the line, but there's been no shortage of curl here all week. We're into the, what do we have, 4th day of competition. It's hard to keep it straight now because it was supposed to start Sunday.
Yeah.
And with the flight delays, we were 1 day late starting. But the rocks were conditioned before the event started. Here we are on the 4th day, and there's still 5 feet of curl towards the middle. They're still holding up well.
Hard, Annie. Hard curl, hard curl, hard curl. It's okay.
So our ice maker was telling me that this time,
Okay, same thing.
rather
Yeah,
than
okay,
just
good bites. The line's more important.
papering the rocks, they actually
Kate.
flipped
Like
the
16,
rocks
65.
over.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And they had about 6 years on the one side, and now they've flipped them over, and they'll get
Same
good results from papering this side now for hopefully another 6 years.
Yeah, it was done just about a week and a half ago, I believe. First time they've ever used this side of so these were basically like brand new running surfaces.
Right. Yeah.
Whoa. Carlin's rock.
Kate gains another chance to put up the center guard. She's got a chance to steal this first end if she can make 2 more
It looks
guards.
good. Yeah, Alex. Whoa, it's gonna over curl. Whoa. It looks good.
Alex.
Leave it.
Whoa, Alex.
Whoa. Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, Alex. Alex, you gotta go. Get it. Gotta bite center. Bite center.
Okay, whoa,
Bite
whoa,
center.
whoa.
Whoa.
Yep.
Well, they
Yeah, get
managed
that,
that
get it,
rock
get it.
very nicely.
Yeah, they just curl so hard at the end. You don't want to oversweep them early. Still might be tight enough that if she makes the double, she could roll in for a biter as well.
Okay. I don't mind this either.
Yeah, I don't mind it. If you play the double, ours is just out there, so. But I don't mind that.
I like this.
Okay.
Do that.
If you tap it back, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Marion likes this. Well, we have the opportunity. Should point out a little bit of the difference here.
To run the double.
Okay.
Just, yep. You guys pick your ice. If you want to play your in turn, you'll have to cross it just, well, it's actually pretty well nose. Just off nose. Yeah.
I think so.
You got it. Come on. You got it. Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
The difference in the U-18s, if you're used to watching the events with timeouts, it's a little different here at the U-18s. They have what's called an interaction. They're allowed 1 interaction with the coach per end. It can be called by the coach. Doesn't have to come from the ice, which is the case with the timeouts at other competitions. But the clock doesn't stop running. So instead of 1 timeout, they've got the 8 interactions, and the clock, instead of 30 minutes for an 8-end game, they give them 34, and the clock doesn't stop when they have their interaction. So you will see it goes pretty quick.
It really is a great idea for these young curlers, up-and-coming curlers, to be able to get that input right at the time that they're looking at the shots.
She might have turned this in just a little bit. They're really going to have to go to get a piece of that stone at the top 12. Catches the first one. Misses the second, and the shooter will roll all the way out of play.
Okay, right there.
Yeah, you got it, Kate.
Probably got that started just a little bit. Now, look at how much ice she's got here for a guard on the center line. She's expecting just under 6 feet of curl here.
I really like the idea that the coach can have that interaction during the end, because, you know, if they talk about it at the 4th end break, it's kind of forgotten by then. At least then they have the chance to make the shot. If they, you know, they discuss it during the end and talk about, well, this is the better shot.
You know, one of the things I've observed through the week doing this is that the coaches and the players, for that matter, have gotten into the habit. Everything's pretty quick. Like, those conversations are short. Of course, in this case, the clock is running, so they have to get to the point. But I haven't seen a team yet get tight for time all week long. So they're learning at a young age to play at a good pace.
Bite center. That's fine.
Brings this one into the rings.
It's a teaser.
Yeah, well, you can't imagine she wants to draw against 2 in the first inch, so she's probably playing the double.
I like it. You just
Or straight hit the one right on
okay.
the button there,
You got it, left.
biting the button.
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
going for.
you could see almost all of it. It's a little scary.
It is. She ever just touches the top one.
Yeah, but it could still be a steal or 2. And if you throw safe, if you throw this And, you know, we've all done it where you, well, I can't afford to touch the top one. You set it back a little bit. She rolls out. It's a steal of one. Those doubles are never as easy as they look either. You think because it's a nose hit, it's easy, but you're half an inch off the nose. The one side, you jam it. Half an inch off the other side, you miss the second rock.
But attempting the double, at least you're getting one.
Yeah. She was not wide on this one either. They're going to have to go to get by that stone at the top 8. They're holding the line. She's got good rotation.
Well,
that rotation actually might hurt her. It's going to gear off. She made the hit it fairly thick, but rolls all the way out. It's a steal of one here. New Brunswick takes the lead after the opening end. They've got a 1-0 lead. Nova Scotia will have last rock once again in the second.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
The Canadian Curling Trials. The thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
1-0 as we begin play here, and the opening stone. Don't know, I didn't see whether that caught something or not. It ends up well short of the hog line, so we start things off here with a hogged stone.
Yeah, better light, but top 4, you got it.
This is an unusual call. With last rock, she's going to go to the 4-foot.
You touched a bit on the fact that Nova Scotia is a little behind in their games that they've played because of a late arrival. It really was quite the story for a lot of the Eastern teams trying to get here for the start of the event.
Yeah, we've mentioned a couple of times that it was supposed to start play Sunday. There were enough teams delayed that they pushed the start of the event till Monday.
Oh, it's not in?
Now that was interesting. She went to play the come around. The coach wanted to hit it. Well, you can't because it's not in. But I think that's his interaction for the end.
I think so. And it's clearly not in, but he couldn't see from where he was sitting.
Yeah, they're at ice level at behind the sheet. Will slide to the back, biting the 8-foot, but it is buried.
You want to come around or you want to split?
I think she either go around or split ours because we do have hammer.
Up to you, whatever you want. I don't mind this. Come this way. That way? Yeah.
I didn't mind her idea to split. I didn't.
Okay, you
love coming to the center with last rock in the first one. If you try the split, even if you hit it thick, hit half a rock, tap it into the 8-foot and roll over for a corner guard, you're in a pretty good spot. And, you know, you could do that here even with just, you make sure you tight ice this come around. You don't want to come around by and leave it out in the open. Looks like a lot of ice now, but these will move big from the hog line in.
I think she's coming around.
There it goes. They're actually going to come out the open.
Sorry, that came off.
Just came out past the edge of the guard. Somebody, looks like, was assigned to count to 5. She started to look at the double and then took a look over her shoulder and realized, well, we can't hit the guard yet. And technically you could, as long as you don't kill the guard. You could jam the guard onto the one in the rings. As long as the guard doesn't leave play, it's a legal shot.
Okay. If it's up, is it coming here?
But if it does, you have to put it
Then
back.
everything goes back, yeah.
Dies. 14-4, 14-4. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All off, all off, all off. Yep.
Yeah, Carlin. That's okay.
We'll bring that to the back 4-foot. It is mostly covered. That's actually a pretty good shot. They were looking for the corner freeze on the red one, but it's a rock that Nova Scotia's got to deal with.
Can you see hot? Or you can just come on. Okay.
Yeah, I like this.
I always find these interesting because when the second's in the hacks looking at this, she asked her if she could see half, and she didn't see it. But if the skip and the third were in the house and asking the second at the other end for the skip, how much can you see? She'd see, you could see 3/4. It just depends whether I'm throwing it or not on how much I'm going to tell you you can see. Again, it looks like it's got lots of room, but it's going to move hard from the hog line in. Look at it go.
Yeah. That's a pretty nice shot.
Okay, same thing. Yeah, hers is 15 there. So 15-5. You got it.
Carlin's rock.
Wait's close. Wheel's coming down.
Where? Yo.
Gotta go.
Hard,
Alex looking to get down to the inside corner of that red. They switched the brushers for curl early.
Line only, line only.
Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Line only.
14-8, 14-8. Leave it. It's good.
Oh,
It's
she's
good.
got a nice looking stone here.
Don't take that back.
Beauty.
Nice.
Taps that red back just a few inches. The red yellow providing a pocket. Hard to get rid of this yellow with one stone.
Just raise the head thin. Or you can just bump it back and sit here.
I like sitting here.
Okay.
I don't want to give them a pocket.
Okay.
Well, like, we can tap it back. I just don't want to roll away.
They already have a pocket.
Yes, all the play's been to the center.
Yeah, either one of these shot calls is good, but you have to be definitive here. You're either trying to keep your shooter in the button area, or you're jamming that yellow, and so you've got a way to get rid of it on the next one.
Top forward.
Line straight.
This is much tighter line coming down. They're going to have to go to get by their own stone at the top of the... Well,
Yeah,
initially I was saying top of the 8-foot. I don't think they're getting by the guard.
No, and the weight is a little down too.
Hard curl, hard curl, hard curl. Hard curl, hard curl. Get it off center. Get it
That's
off
fine. Yeah. Like
15-5.
Yeah. Can I like a touch more? Yeah, that's good. We got it.
Big opportunity here for New Brunswick early in this game. They already stole one in the first. They're sitting shot rock partially buried on the button now. A chance to bring a second one in. There's backing behind that stone.
Hard, Alex, hard! Hard, you got it! Whoa! Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! Alex! Hard, harder, hard, girls! Hard, you got it! Whoa! Whoa! Yep.
You look at how much she cleared the guard by, and it's going to get right to the face of that stone. That's a fantastic shot.
It is.
Nova Scotia's in some trouble here. They need, it's going to take them at least 2 to get both of those rocks out of the button area, and I'm not so sure it won't take 3.
Where do I have to hit it? Okay.
Has to get as close to the nose here as she can.
This is heel weight.
Well, and you know, we haven't talked about it yet, but Olivia McDonough, not normally part of this team. She's the alternate for this event. Don't know how much she's played with them. Don't know if they knew how much weight was going to be coming there. She made a pretty good shot. Cleared out all the backing. Got one of the yellows out of the button area. The other's still buried, though. That's a bit of a problem.
I know, they have that.
Oh, okay.
I think do the same thing.
Yeah.
No, it gives them the double. Make them make that. Come here.
Okay. Yeah. A little bit less than
That rock at the side of the 4-foot, mostly in the 8. She can hit and roll off it to the back of the button, but it's too far back to make the double off that one. She doesn't want to give them a double in the middle, so they're just going to play the guard.
No ad.
Alex!
Alex! Curl, yep. Just like
Hard.
a breach, just a guard.
Hard!
Always Alex.
You got it, hard! Hard,
Yep,
almost there.
come on.
Okay, whoa.
Yes,
Yep,
Alex.
yep, 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 yep.
Yes, Alex.
Yep, hard, 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 hard. Hard as you can. You got it. Hard, 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 hard. Real good, girls, real good. Whoa.
Pretty nice shot.
Yeah. You probably got to run something.
I think she's just trying to eliminate now.
Or you can peel.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
You know, with the weight she just threw, you know she can
Try to
throw it.
peel. Leave that for
The
you.
triple raise on the Reds, as much as
Can
it's
we
3
run it?
rocks, it's really just hit the first one right.
Like cross the face.
The second 2 are lined up pretty well to that yellow stone.
Hit it like almost nose.
She's going to look at
Yes,
playing
we
the run on the
cross
guard that was
face to
just
get her
thrown.
shooter out. But, yeah, that's good. If we peel, that's okay.
Just like normal.
Did she say normal?
Certainly some danger involved here.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of ice. Like you sure can't jam this onto the red at the top of the 8-foot.
Exactly.
Whoa, whoa. Curl. He's got it out of it.
She'll go right by everything.
Sorry.
So it continues to be New Brunswick
Okay,
sitting
guard
2.
Yeah. Like, right here?
Yeah, we might have to come this way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably that.
Do you ever curl that hard? It's a corner guard, right? So like this?
Right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So now looking to guard that stone at the edge of the 8-foot, so she doesn't have it to come in off of.
That looks good.
I like that.
Yeah. me
Just
too.
skip stones left to come here.
That might have been a prime opportunity for the
Kind of like
coach to have
middle of corner and center.
motioned or had his little moment to talk to the skip and suggest hitting the red ones
Maybe
to open
65
it up
to the
that
best.
way.
Yeah, I didn't hate the call of the run the yellow guard. It's only 1 to run back, so it looks a little easier. It looked like a lot of ice though for what they were calling as normal weight, and that's the other thing when you've got a player that's in as an alternate.
Carlin's rock.
Is her normal weight the same as what they're used to? Because certainly on her first one, it looked like she threw fairly good up weight.
Hey, whoa.
Alex! Alex!
This is going to have to curl. Still on the red fairly solid.
okay.
Not enough to chip off either. Probably takes away any of the possibility of running the reds back, but it does leave this hit and roll. This is kind of a, you have to make this now.
Just to hold them to one. Well, I suppose you can run in
You
and
could probably get to the back of the button. There, your stone, when you make contact, is fully in front of the tee line, so as it comes across, it might even touch the back side of that yellow stone at the top of the button. These are so tough. She's trying to roll exactly 2 feet 6 inches. It's a tough roll, and it has to be that precise. Makes the hit.
well, that's a really nice shot.
Just a little thin on the first one, so it rolls too deep.
She has that. So guard that, right?
Yeah, I think that's all she has.
Yeah.
Okay. And she has a draw here, so guard that.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any draw
Okay, so I had
with
ice
where she'd
here.
have to be.
So probably corner.
They're
again.
looking at the run in on the yellow guard, thinking that's all she's got. She runs the yellow guard in to try to clip the one off the button. It could be for 2.
Do you like that?
This is what you had last time. Not like here?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, but we're gonna have to be on it straight.
Okay, then you want, yeah. Yeah? You
So
got
they
it.
need to
Right on
guard
that
the
side,
guard
eh?
here, and
Yes,
if
yeah,
anything,
right
they've
on
got to
that
take
side.
away a little bit of the outside of it.
Another corner. Pardon? Yeah.
Okay, well, a little wide.
Whoa!
Harlan's rock.
Whoa! Never!
Whoa. Just let it come down.
Whoa! Whoa!
Rush is a little
Whoa, just let it
concerned on
come
the
down,
weight
let it
on
come
this.
down. Just gotta stop.
Never!
Whoa. Carlin?
Never!
Whoa,
Yep,
stop,
yep, yep.
stop, stop.
It ended up in a pretty good
Yeah.
spot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh
Nice
boy,
shot.
almost
That's
overcurled
good.
at the end. Did it overcurl at the end? No, not quite.
What do you see? I don't really see if I can get.
Haven't used your coach's interaction yet? You may as well use it now.
That's right.
Okay.
And all she's telling him, I think, just throw it away, save some time on the clock. They might throw it as a draw. There's no,
So just gonna throw it through.
just going to throw it through. Yeah, they can't score. There's no shot to score, short of trying some kind of double raise, which there's a risk of giving up more than one if you do that. So Olivia Guthrie will simply throw this one away. Give up the steal of 1 here again. It's back-to-back steals for New Brunswick to start things off. They've got a 2-0 lead after the second end. It'll be Nova Scotia with Last Rock again, once again in the third. You're watching the 2025 U-18 Curling Championships.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
From cash spiels to grand slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Back-to-back steals have New Brunswick up 2-0 here as we begin play in the third.
Break center as much as you can.
And the center guard thrown up, and I think that's touching the center line. There's a good look
Yes,
at it.
it looks like it is.
So it's in the no-tick zone.
You got it. Yep.
If there is debate on that, if the teams can't necessarily agree, there is a device they use, just a little triangle that they use to come out and measure, but they have to call for the officials for that. We did see that in one of the broadcasts yesterday.
Nice line.
In an extra end, actually, if I recall.
Nice down. Elliot. Oh, team. Top four.
Annie LeBlanc looking for the come around. She's got a lot of room coming by. And it's going to be just back of the tee line.
Yeah, you need more. 15, 15, 5. Weights close, little heavy. Myra. Weights up, play for the back.
Looking for the come around here, but if it's a little strong, they do have that red one they could come to. This is more than a little strong, though, perhaps.
It's 13-4. Okay, that's okay, Carlin.
Will come all the way through the rings, by everything.
Couple feet less. Give you a little less. Yep. We'll sweep it.
Another chance for Annie to get one behind cover in front of the tee line here. Even if you're just half in behind, you kind of Christmas tree that back one. They could get a little something going here. Took a little less ice, probably threw a little less weight as well, and this is going to be all over the guard, and it's still on that center line. You got to be careful here.
Kept it on it, so
Yeah,
yes, it can stay.
That almost overcurled. It would have tapped it off. They had to kind of keep that in line.
Top four. Do you want to do that? No. Come here. Okay, you got it. Yeah. You're good. You got time.
So another opportunity for New Brunswick to bury something in the top of the house.
Need the backing. Where? Back 12. Hard. Back 12. Whoa. Yeah, hard.
And again, the brusher's indicating this is strong, so they're trying to sweep for line, stay on the red one.
Roll. Any roll, Carlin.
Taps it a little bit and does roll in dead behind cover.
So
New
that
Brunswick
timed-
sits one. Sorry,
Yeah, that
Casey.
timed in at 14 seconds. I think this ice runs around 15 and a half.
That's the number I've been hearing most of the week, yeah. This time they're going to play the peel on the center guards. Gets the two guards, leaves the shooter up. It was always going to be tough to get the double and roll away.
Probably. 15-5. You got it, Alex.
Good job by the Brushers to get it by.
Whoa.
They have to stop sweeping, though, now because
That's
it
fine.
would come out
That's
the
okay.
other side. It still works as a guard. It's in the 12-foot. Third shot. Nova Scotia looking for the run back on their own guard now.
Little more.
Boy, that looks like a lot of ice.
Get all the way. Straight back, straight back, straight back, straight back. Hard roll, Annie. Hard roll.
Unfortunately, that roll blocks that out turn draw.
Yeah.
Probably like a 2. Okay. 2. Yeah.
I thought they were playing that straight back, but they swept it like they were playing to roll off the entire time.
Okay, I have time to take a breath. We got it. Little ad. Alex's rock!
Where?
Whoa!
Where? Okay, whoa. Let it die.
Whoa, looks
Let
heavy!
it die. Let it
Looks
die.
heavy!
Alex.
Alex!
Hard. Hard, Alex.
Yes, hard!
Plan B now. They realize they're heavy. They want to get by the top one.
Oh,
Whoa.
Ends up corner frozen on their own and covering the pin. Just gets by. Nose hit on that stone in the 12-foot, though, would be close. The two in the button area are a little staggered. There is a triple there. Needs to come up just a little. She's close. She's really close. Makes contact with the two in the button area. Spills one of them. Moves the other one out into the open. That's a pretty good result.
that was a nice shot.
You'd love to have the triple, but right now nothing's buried. The red in the back of the 8-foot second shot.
Maybe just 10 guard. Yeah. Okay.
Shot rock is open for the time being. New
Yeah,
Brunswick
just guard.
opting to guard it.
Okay, it curls up hard.
Hard to tell from, even from the overhead. You can see a little bit of white beside that red stone at the top, but of course the camera's over top of the button. That rock might be biting the rings.
Felt almost the same. Felt the same.
Line's
Whoa.
good. Carlin's rock. Whoa. Where? Whoa. Okay, whoa.
Well, if this doesn't curl, it's definitely
Okay,
going to be
it's on
biting
this,
the
so
rings
just
now
leave
because
it.
she's on the red one.
Just leave it. It's not going far, so it's fine.
Just taps it up full 12, so the yellow at the back is still third shot. They were looking for the roll behind the center, but roll behind the corner kind of in front of that yellow is not bad either. That's kind of what you got. Not fully buried, but I think that's got a piece behind the guard, and you got to be real careful of the jam here.
Either this one
Yeah.
or that one, yeah.
This can't be a comfortable throw to look at from the hacks. You ever jam this, you could leave three in the rings, three redstones in the rings. This could turn into a big end out of nowhere.
11.
Need to get at least to the nose here.
We haven't seen a lot of in-out hits here.
No.
So interesting to see.
Well, if you just hit the nose, you're going to leave a double to sit 3 as well. Ideally, you want to roll under that corner. This has got to curl a lot.
Gotta go for a piece, hard! Hard for a piece, hard! Yes, yes, okay, watch the back one.
It's jamming,
There's that jam.
and it's rolling too far.
That's okay.
It does stick around for second shot, and that's important. Because for Nova Scotia, if they hit it now, 3 of the rocks they've got will be behind the tee line. You could simply ignore that draw for now.
Okay. Yeah. Just get it top forward. Light's okay.
Like here, I think.
Okay. You got it, Liv.
I like this call. It's a very mature call. It's as tempting as it is to hit that and sit 4. You pile all your rocks behind the tee line, and all New Brunswick needs to do is make one shot to take away the entire end, and she'll have a lot of room for error. If you can put this on the top corner of the button, she probably has to hit one of those other red stones. And the one she can really see would still leave a double for 4. It's a scary situation for New Brunswick.
Close to your line. Yep. Annie. Yep. Hard line. Hard line. Hard, Annie.
Oh, they're going to have to go hard on this to hold the line.
She was
It's
probably tight for line. She does have a lot of rotation.
Drag it. Go, go, go. Hard, Annie. Hard. Hard, hard, hard. Hard on the roll.
weight was nice, just a little bit snug on that release, I think.
That's fine.
Our shooter did roll across and cover up shot rock.
I think it's probably a draw here.
Yeah.
We can ask Bill.
Bill?
Pull out the coach for his thoughts.
So they'll get a shot for 2 at the most, right?
Is it for sure? It's for 4.
I'm pretty,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure. Can you tuck one in there? You think you can get in there?
Probably could.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
It's a lot. It's way out there.
Why? What do you like better? Because none of it are
That's
easy
it.
hits.
That's about all you got.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
This hole?
Let's just look.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. The only other shot they've got is maybe the yellow onto the red at the top 12, and
So
there's a risk of just depending on how you hit it, what it might jam on at the
It could
back
jam
too.
on that yellow one and
I mean,
hit it.
you could get a double on the reds too, but it just as easily you could jam it on the yellow and it's a draw for 4.
okay, that's fine. Let's do
Now,
that.
we haven't seen a draw this far out. It might stay straighter out here.
They tend to run out here for the longest time anyway.
Okay, guys, tuck
What
it
I'd
in
be
there.
more concerned about
Might be funky out here.
is that having not been out this far, even in practice,
take a
I
bit
doubt
less for
this
sure.
could be
Yeah.
fresh pebble.
Right, so it could be heavier than she's thinking.
15 maybe.
Well, and if you get in the hacks thinking, oh, it could be heavy here, I got to throw it harder, and it's not, that can work out against you too. She doesn't have a lot of room for error here. Tightened up the ice a little bit from the hacks. That's scary. You have to get by that red one that was just thrown. You touch that rock on the way by, it could be a hit for 5.
Whoa! How's the weight? Whoa, Alex is
Boy,
raw.
it's just
Alex
really
is raw,
staying
for
straight.
Sure.
It's out there, but it will curl from about the logo here is where it usually starts to go.
It's 14-2.
14-2 is what I got as well.
Be a little strong.
Roll in.
Pretty nice.
Curl, roll in, roll, any roll, any roll. That's okay,
Oh,
Kate.
she got shot.
She got shot. She tapped the other yellow. If you could get to just inside the nose of that, it's for 3.
I think so. We get 2.
Yep.
But I think the draw is more
But
important.
they haven't looked yet. I think it's actually for 3 now.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say about here then.
That Yellowstone is about a quarter
Out of
underneath.
this.
They've got their interaction,
Try to
yeah.
put back
So
your weight.
Marion wants to see it.
Enough to move it back a foot, 2 feet.
Yeah, it breaks pretty late here, so.
Yeah.
You got it, Liz.
Maybe even a little more, like outside edge.
So just to clarify this, if one team calls out their coach,
Back 12 weight.
the other team can talk with their coach too.
They can, but only for the length of time that the other team is out there. So as soon as
We get 2.
the interaction is over, and I don't know whether, I didn't actually notice whether New Brunswick did there or not. There's, with they not having any rocks left to come, there's hardly any point. But Big
So
shot
even
here.
though he had his interaction,
Yes,
the New
you could-
Brunswick, he can come back out.
You can come back out during the other team. Same as that part is the same as the timeouts in the more traditional format. This is certainly tighter line than Kate had. She's got to have the weight to tap it. They're looking for curl now. This is close. Got to finish. Needs to finish. She's going to get to the yellow. It's going to touch the red one. Enough to get 2.
Good shot.
Nice shot for Nova Scotia indeed. They pick up their 2 points here in the third end, and we're all tied up. It'll be New Brunswick with the last rock for the first time in this game when we come back for the 4th.
Going back to Thunder Bay, I imagine you have some fond memories of playing there and winning the last time. What would it be like to go back there and try to do it again?
Well, I think Thunder Bay will be a little different this time. We're allowed to have some fans and family and friends in the stands, so it won't be as quiet. I know we got to have like a few for like the final day, but that was about it. So it's definitely going to be a packed house, that's for sure, and it's going to be loud because I remember even with it just having just a little bit of fans in there, it was super loud. So I'm prepared to probably lose my voice again.
Sean Joyce, Tracy Streifel with you here from the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. We're all tied up as we begin play in the 4th. Women's round robin Pool B action here. Both of these teams coming in at 2 losses, but a little discrepancy on the win side. The Nova Scotia team was one of the teams late getting here. They lost their first 2 games yesterday, but lost those 2 games to the top 2 teams in the pool. So as they enter play today, they are still playing against all the teams that they're chasing for that last playoff spot in the pool. One of those teams being this New Brunswick team that came in with a record of 2-2.
Line's good. Weight's close.
Definitely a tough start for the Nova Scotia team to have to battle the elements to get here, and then getting here late. I'm sure that made them nervous and, you know, excited all at the same time, and then having to come out and try to play catch up at this point.
Yeah, I was talking to them yesterday. They happened to be just warming up for their first game just by our location. So I saw them before their first game, and that's when we found out they had gotten in at 1:30 in the morning. Their first game was at 12:30. So it's sleep quick, get out here against teams that have already played 3 and 4 games. Luck of the draw, because they had to juggle the draw several times. They end up playing the top 2 teams in the pool on their first day, so not an easy way to start things off. But, you know, I think if you ask any of these teams that had trouble getting here with the travel arrangements, they're just thankful that they get the chance to play all their games. Had there been any defaults, that, you know, you don't even have the chance to make up that game. Plus, you don't learn anything. You know, even taking a loss yesterday, they still got to get out there, get on the ice, get some experience. I've talked to a couple of coaches over the course of the week, and one of the questions I like to ask them is, how much 5 feet of curl do you get to see? And I've had a couple of them tell me none. They never see 5 feet of curl. They're lucky if they get 3. So they're coming here. The speed is incredibly quick. There's a lot of curl. It's late break. And for the teams that don't get to see that often, there's a lot of learning here to do anyway. So for these teams that arrived late, they didn't get the same amount of practice time as all the other teams.
15. I wouldn't.
It's nice for them to get to play all their games at least. So they have a chance to learn the ice.
Yep. You got it. Yep. Good one.
Great throw.
10.
You got it, Ellie. It's pretty straight over here. 10. 10
Nice. Yep. Yeah, hard. Hard two.
New Brunswick content to keep playing the draw to the open side? Sorry, Tracy, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the format of this U18 is like no other, that there's 42 teams here. And to allow 2 teams from, I think almost every province has 2 teams, maybe not every province, but just to give them the opportunity to come to a national event and partake and experience that for the first time, because that's often the challenge that they have to come and.
It's a developmental issue, and that's part of the reason that they've got the extra teams. So I think there's 14 member associations, and then so it would be 7 on each side, 7 extra men's teams, 7 extra women's teams, and that's all done just for the purpose of getting as many teams exposure to this type of an event as you possibly can. It was one of the things that I talked about. I can't remember who I was even doing the game with, but it was right the opening day. It was something I thought about as I was coming here. You're watching, there's this other little event going on right now called the Scotties in Thunder Bay. But it was a women's game I was doing that first day too, and you're wondering, there's 21 teams out here playing on the women's side, and how many of these players are going to end up playing at a Scotties, and how soon? I mean, just because they're 18 and under, I mean, there's some young players at the Scotties this year too. Certainly 10 years from now, that's too high of a number. There's going to be some of them playing there sooner than that. And so an event like this where they can get some of that experience can only benefit them down the road.
For sure. They were doing a recap at the Scotties the other night about how many players there had won junior nationals. I think there was 5 or 6, so, and that were there now playing.
Okay, 3 top 12. Okay, yep.
Well, and that's just the ones that won junior nationals. A lot of them had played in juniors and not necessarily won the event.
15, whoa. T. Okay, it's good. Kylie a bit, yep. Yep. Good one.
And all of these players still, well, some of them have played in juniors already, and Will Junior's now referred to as, is it U20 or U21? So it's still the age category between this and the Scotties age group. They've got a lot of opportunities now, and there's actually U15 here in Saskatchewan as well. I don't know if that program has gone national yet.
Lots of opportunities for them, though, at the different age categories.
Hit made again, this time just rolls out of the ring, stays in play.
We got this, guys.
I don't know whether Kate Gaines will be content to continue to play out in the corner all end, or if she might wait till thirds last and throw one around that guard and try to generate the deuce here.
Alex's rock. Okay, whoa, Carlin's rock. Yep, hard. Hard, you got it, girls. It looks okay to me, it looks okay. Carlin's rock. Okay, 15-2. Whoa. Whoa. It's good car.
Super fast going to the outside, too.
Your line and weight were really good. I'll give you even less.
Okay. Do you ever like throwing like a 10-5, or do you still like 10? Okay. I felt like less. Whoa.
Girl. Hard Annie. Looks great. Hard Annie. Whoa.
We're looking to roll into the 8-foot this time. She's going to hit right on the nose, does stay.
Yeah. Do you want to do like this?
I thought the call, Kate was looking to hit this right on the nose. This is a really great position to try to roll towards that cornerstone. You could actually probably get corner frozen on it. You get half a mistake, and you got a chance to get 2 here this end.
Whoa.
Off.
Whoa, never. Let it work.
Played it for the nose hit all the way down. Got the nose hit.
Yep. How you feeling? Good.
Good job, Natalie. Got it. Yeah, we can definitely hold it.
Yeah.
Nice and straight.
Yeah.
You got it.
Thanks, Liv.
You could argue the same
Just for the blankets.
kind of situation here for Nova Scotia. And I think they're looking to roll into the middle a bit, but you could roll a foot, foot and a half to the outside, make this stone very difficult to remove. Even if you get a rollout from Kate Gaines on her first, you've got a chance to come around the guard and perhaps get a force.
If she noses this, you nose. If she rolls out, I think you should draw under the guard.
Curl. Close. Yeah. Oh. Curl. Curl hard, Annie. Hard, Annie. Right over. You got it.
Okay, bye bye.
Stay sweep.
Good seat.
So straight there. They're taking the middle of the rock.
Stay sweep. Good throw.
The call again, try to hit right on the nose, stay right
Good
there.
throw. It's just so
I
straight.
don't think she's going to want to roll towards the middle. I still don't mind the little roll to the outside. It's a tough call. You have to make sure you stay.
Like it looks like it was gonna break, but
Yeah.
if you sweep it, you can hold it. So
Yeah.
I got an 11-3 on that too.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, I told him down there I
in
said
this-
like 10, but like less
Yeah.
is fine. It's not gonna go anywhere.
yeah, like this spot.
Whoa!
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 Out of her hand, this
Never.
looks like a little more weight.
It's leave it.
Whoa! Yes, Carlin! Yes, Carlin! Hard! Yeah, hard for nose, hard. Yep. No.
I would say at this end it looked like a little more weight too, but she did curl across the nose, rolls a little further into the 8-foot.
Same weight. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
So now for Olivia Guthrow with her final stone here without last rock in the fourth end. If she can make the roll all the way across center and get underneath cover, she's probably just at the tee line.
It's not going anywhere, and you can hold it if it starts to. Yeah. Try to get the roll if you can, but. Wait there. Oh! Curl! Whoa! Straight! Hard, Ellie! Hard!
Boy, they might have lost the line. It's going to make contact with the yellow just enough to get it out the back of the rings, and she'll lose the shooter as well.
Bill? Blank?
Get her one or get her. That one
I
did
think
take
blank.
off. I kind of like one.
No.
Yeah, get her one.
Okay.
Just do it for the girls. Okay, here. And
Yeah.
I mean, it might not happen, so.
Well, I have to say this surprises me a little bit. Played this whole end like you were content to blank, and now they're going to take one.
Get our one.
Well, and she turned and she asked the coach, should we blank or should we take one? I didn't hear him, but he must have said to take one.
Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, just I would. T line. Line's good. It's all you guys.
Final stone, fourth end here for Kate Gaines. Tied up.
Whoa.
Just needs a piece of the rings to pick up her single.
14-5.
It's got a lot of weight.
Well, she might get that blank after all.
Yeah.
She did say whatever when she sat in the hack, so.
Olivia Guthrow knew she wanted last rock in the fifth. She didn't even make an attempt to sweep that rock through, but it does slide just through the back. We do have a blank here in the fourth. They'll go into the break all tied at 2 apiece. We'll be back for the fifth end after the break.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
The Canadian Curling Trials. The thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
She fits so well into the team, and we really got to know her in the past a few months, and it's just incredible how cool she is, and she's so funny too. This is a lot of people sometimes are like, oh, how is she? And I'm like, she is so funny, and it's just a good fit, and even on the ice, just to feel that she has her back and we got her back, it just feels amazing. So yeah, it was pretty easy to just fit, but obviously like other teams, it needs a moment of adaptation for sure. But yeah, it was great, and it's great to work with her, especially on the ice. Technically, she's a good coach, so just to see, to have her watch my throw and to give me advice when we practice together is just amazing.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
All tied up as we begin play here in the 5th. This all-important matchup in Pool B. The women's side, both of these teams coming in with 2 losses. Nova Scotia has yet to win. They were one of the teams late getting here. But as we came into this draw, there were 3 teams tied for 3rd place. And we know in the playoff format, the top 3 in each pool are going to get in, plus the next best record across all the pools. And it's entirely likely that will go down to draw to the button, that last shot draw, the pregame draw to the button, the cumulative for the week, because they'll have to break ties across pools, more than likely. It's unlikely that 10th spot is going to be free and clear. So entering play in this pool, 3 teams tied for 3rd at 2-2, and as much as Nova Scotia has yet to win, they've only played twice. They've still only got two losses. They still control their own fate.
Okay, if it's not in, just leave it. Alex. 17-5.
Guard thrown up to start. The end, the come-around attempt comes up short, and so now we've got 2 guards to start things off here in the 5th.
Yeah, I like this play. You got it.
We've had a really good turnout of spectators this week, despite how cold it is. I think today we're probably around that -36 again.
With the wind chill, yeah, I think so. And +1 tomorrow.
Right, and 4 by Saturday, so dramatic change in temperatures.
We've seen everything this week. Flight delays. We had 2 teams, as I understand it, it was 2 teams, and I don't know which 2, were on the tarmac at Pearson in Toronto waiting for their plane to get clearance to take off when they had a plane crash on the runway, and they basically shut down the airport. Everybody had to get off the plane. They had another 6-hour delay there. You certainly can't say that these kids aren't going to go home with some stories to tell for the rest of their lives.
They'll remember the U-18 in Saskatoon, for sure. Yeah, that wasn't really just a crazy spin of events there, having the Delta flight crash on landing.
The event was scheduled to start Sunday, was delayed by a day. The opening ceremonies were only held last night. I think there was one of the teams had already played 5 games out of their 6 by that time. They managed to get, I wasn't here for it, I was hearing about it afterwards. They did manage to get the group photo with everybody in there. That's a lot of bodies to get. They had to stand all the way across the rink to get everybody in. I understand they got a wave coordinated with the players and got a good video of that as well.
Well, they're excited now that they're all here. They're having a great time.
It is crowded somewhere, I will say, based on what we're hearing out there today. There are a lot of cows walking around with no bells because the cowbells seem to all be in the crowd.
Thankfully, they're all out in the ice, not inside.
They discourage the announcers from using cowbells. Nice come around there, just taps that stone up a little bit. Ends up essentially Christmas treeing those 2. She got across the face a little bit. There's the check over the shoulder, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's hit the guard.
I've done that from time to time.
Well, I have too, and I've also seen people miscount it too. It's one of the things, it happens here. We don't have dividers here at Nutana between the sheets at the back, and I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with some rather prominent curlers, although I'm not going to name names on the air, but where they go to count the rocks back there and don't realize that one of the rocks they counted is actually from the other sheet.
And even though all the players did get here, just a shout out to some of the parents that didn't make it. So they were delayed so many times that they ended up just staying home.
Yeah, I like this. Heavy's okay. You got it.
Where they are forced to listen to us.
That's right.
3, 2, 3, 2.
a nice guard, and that's not easy either. That they all these teams, because it's how they've played it all week, they know the path to get to the center line. But when you have to get a guard a foot off the center line, it's tough. There's so much late break. It's really easy to over curl on those. We actually saw the New Brunswick team when they had to play guards like this a couple of ends ago. They opted to go the other direction, throw it like a corner guard.
Hard, Kai. Whoa. Okay, hard roll.
Hard, Carlin. Make sure that goes all the way. Has to go all the way.
Good.
Nice. That's out.
Makes the peel, rolls the shooter out of play as well. Nova Scotia will once again look to replace the guard.
Yeah, I think so.
Baseline.
Always Ellie. Always Ellie.
Looks great, looks great.
Got a curl.
Great. Got a curl.
Don't think curl's going to be a problem here. The issue is whether or not this is going to stop.
Yeah, hard curl. Whoa.
So they've gone plan B. They're trying to separate these a little bit. It's going to nudge off.
Try this.
Yeah.
Need a good this.
Yeah. Okay.
New Brunswick looking. There's a couple of doubles there. I think the indication was they're going to try to hit and roll behind the guard. By doing that, you're probably only killing one red.
Yup, yup.
Yeah,
Hard.
hard. Yes.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hard.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And if this over curls a little bit, you could make a double. Line holding, though.
Whoa in the yellow. Whoa in the
And a
yellow.
roll. Whoa.
Makes the hit, rolls across, but out past the guard.
Yep. 10.
So that stone is open. Nova Scotia can make a play on it. Try to sit 3 once again.
We don't have the ages of these players, but boy, looking at some of them, they sure look young.
Well, I know they're 18 or less.
That's right, but a lot less, some of them.
Some of them, yeah. I've seen players in the bios that were as young as 13. I don't know if there's any that young on this particular sheet. I know that, and I mentioned this in one of the earlier broadcasts, the brace that I wear on my knee to play is too old for this competition.
It's older than some of these kids.
It's older than all of them. It's too old to
Maybe
play in. It's too old to play in the U-18.
Maybe it's time you get a different brace, Sean.
or a different knee.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yes. Whoa. No. Yep. Whoa.
Off. Curl.
It's just that little bit of finish gets to the nose, but not across enough to get the roll under cover.
I like it.
It is shot rock. Now, interesting with where it is now. If you're Nova Scotia, you're Tracy. Do you want to roll under cover, or is a straight nose hit good here? If you roll, if you nose, she can't hit it and roll for shot rock.
I think that's the shot, just to nose it. You roll under, and the New Brunswick skip could draw around. It would be risky, but
You hit this on the nose, she's probably got to hit the one on the other side and try to roll under, and then your shooter would be available for a short run. Sweeping it like they're going for the roll.
I'm right behind the sheet, and that spot runs very straight. She didn't have a lot of weight on it, and it does not take off at all.
That's probably where she ended up, is probably better than getting the roll, because she's still edge to edge with the guard, or maybe a little bit of air. If Kate Gaines makes this roll underneath, it's going to be a very short run on that red stone, and she's got all of it.
Yeah, that's right.
10-5.
This is where if you're Kate Gaines, actually your best bet might be to just roll half behind the yellow and kind of make her try to come the wide side around. And if she clips it out, you're drawing against 2 with your last one, but there's the possibility for a mistake. Called the brush on right away. It's holding now. Looking for curl. She's got the hit. Rolls across.
But it's lined up right behind that red one.
I mean, it's the roll they were looking for, but I think it's just a little too much roll. You roll that a rocks width less, and she's got to play a delicate hit around the outside.
I like 10. You don't need too much. All right. You want to keep your shooter like here, I think. So. Yeah, just off nose. Yeah, you got it.
She can hit about 3/4 broomside. She probably rolls them together, and her shooter will protect the other one. She'll take away a little bit more real estate.
Yeah.
It's exactly where she threw last time.
Yeah.
I just want to keep the shooter.
I'm greedier than her. I want to keep both of them. I mean, you could hit this on the nose, certainly. You make the red and the yellow both go away and leave your shooter in a pretty good spot. But 3/4 broomside, you probably stuff it on the yellow and roll both red stones together, leave yours covered. Kate Gaines could have to draw against 3. And she was not wide.
It's got to the center very quickly here.
Curls just across the face, and we'll drive it by that yellow stone. So just like that, it's a chance to draw for 2.
Well, it doesn't last draw, so whatever you want to throw. Okay, just draw then. Probably, yeah. Okay, it's like 15-5. Yep. Just full 8. Full 8. 15-5. Not through.
That's their own subtle little jab back at the shot she threw last end. She tried the draw for 1 last end, and it slid just through. She needs a good piece of the 8-foot here to pick up her 2 points. Line shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, just full 8. Line's good, just full 8.
Both brushers jumped it early.
Make sure it's full 8. Wait only, full 8. Full 8, come on. Get it there. Yeah, gotta go hard. Come on, yes.
Jumped it early, haven't left. Needs to get 8-foot here.
Hard, you got it. Yes, keep going.
Dragging it all the way down. Great job by the brushers. They'll actually pull that into the corner of the 4-foot.
T-line weight.
New Brunswick picks up 2 points here in the 5th end. They restore the 2-point lead they had after the second. It's 4-2. Going into the 6th, it'll be Nova Scotia with last rock.
The Canadian Curling Trials. The thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Underway here in the 6th end. Sean Joyce, Tracy Streifel with you live from the Nutana Curling Club.
That's okay.
It was a big score of 2 for New Brunswick in that 5th end, and they did call for that first stone as a guard, but you know, that's the miss. If you're going to play the guard with your 2 up, you don't want to be long for sure. If it slides into the 8-foot, that's a good call. Nova Scotia, you have the option here to throw the corner guard. We have seen this from a lot of teams this week, that they'll make a play on that stone in the middle initially. It's a delayed corner guard tactic. You see it a lot at the higher levels. We're getting to the point where we're late enough in the game. I'd have been tempted to just straight out throw the corner guard there.
Try this. You got it.
That delayed corner guard tactic has become very popular even at the men's and women's play, even in the Briars and the Scotties, and I don't mind it here especially because it can simplify things in the middle.
Alex. Hard, Alex.
But
Hard for a piece.
we're getting kind of late in this game, and she really needs to generate a deuce here. Looks like it's going to work out for her though. There's the hit and roll out, so now the opportunity to throw your guard.
So when you say delayed, are you referring to at this point now they would call for the guard?
The idea behind the delayed corner guard tactic, that first rock comes into the rings, you hit it. Ideally, you hit it and roll to the corner. And then when they hit the next one, it doesn't matter where that next stone ends up, you're going to throw the corner guard on the 4th stone of the end, which is still a free guard. But now you don't have 2 rocks piled up in the middle before you throw the corner. And it's become a popular tactic. Is you see it the other side of it where you throw those corner guards earlier, and now by the time you deal with the ones in the middle, there's usually 2 in the rings and a guard in front of them, and you've got 3 rocks in the middle you have to deal with. So it's gaining popularity. It certainly is a good way to deal with the middle early. The downside to it is it only gives you 1 chance to throw up the corner guard because you've brought the first one into the rings. But it certainly can simplify things for you. I'm just, when we're getting to as late as the 6th end and you have to try to generate 2 here, I thought she might just throw the corner straight away.
Especially when the rock was just in the top of the 8-foot.
Yeah, that's another factor. It wasn't a 4-foot stone.
No, line's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, back line.
And I'm thinking it's something the coaches, that their coach agrees upon, because there was no discussion.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd use your interaction that early in the end, but if they've made the decision that they're going to play the delayed corner guard, we're talking about some very young players yet here, and the whole idea of the delayed corner guard is you know, fairly advanced strategy. I admire them for playing it, but then you're asking for a lot for them to also, at this age, differentiate us. When is that rock not enough of a threat that we just ignore it and go away from the game plan? The game plan was to play the delayed corner guard, so that's what we're playing. And it has worked out for them here. They've got the opportunity on the corner, and that draw, actually, as much as it's shot rock and buried, it's a little too deep. That's a rock they can freeze to, and freeze to that stone behind the corner guard. There's an opportunity here for Nova Scotia to set up a big end.
It's coming in nice. That's
the
call.
line looks really good. They've got to go on this for weight. They did not need to curl. They switched for curl here, and they really didn't need to.
I think I see that a lot, where rocks with this new curl straight, that rocks are sometimes over curled.
It doesn't help here with the fact, you know, for the curlers, it doesn't help here that the movement is so big so late. They tend to overreact and think, well, we got to make this curl, but it will get there. Look at the amount of broom they're taking to get to the center line here. There's no shortage of curl. It's all late, though. With these aggressive stones, what you find is they don't really start to curl until they start to slow down. That's when they grab a little bit.
Now, granted, this rock is just coming in at just making 3 rotations right now.
Kylie. Okay, well, you're good. T? Okay. Yep.
Yahoo.
Yep.
Keep going, Carl. You gotta get that as far as you can, as far as you can.
Wow, that kind of tracked it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Give them the doubles. I don't mind the freeze.
Are they pretty flat?
This one's a little more behind.
Can you ever roll and try and push that one over? I don't know actually. Because then they just
You
drop
can.
it.
It's
Whatever you
not
like.
easy.
We can do this too.
Whatever you like. I don't know. Whatever you like.
This one? Yeah, we can do that.
Even a nose hit here is not bad. And I say that only because I don't think New Brunswick will try to roll behind the corner again. And how do they hit it again without leaving a double? The freeze idea is not bad. Same thing. In order to get that stone out of the side of the forefoot, you're going to need a double opportunity at some point in time.
They just have to make sure if they're playing a freeze that they're there,
Yeah, can't be short on this one.
which is exactly what is happening, is that they are coming up short. So you do need to really know your tolerances on a shot like that.
That's fine.
That's okay, just light. 16-4.
Got it.
Actually,
Yeah.
come here.
Thought about coming right in. They're
Okay,
going
like
to
16, she said.
play this as a tight guard, even bite the 12-foot.
So, just like 16-5. 17's close. We got it. Little ad.
Where? Hard! Hard!
Yep, hard.
You got it, hard! All the way. Yep. Hard! Hard! Yep. Hard.
Okay, yep.
You got it, girls, hard.
Yep.
Hard, girls, hard. You got it.
Curl,
Yep.
curl.
Yep.
Curl.
You got it.
Keep going, yes, hard. Yep.
Hard, you
Keep it
got it.
moving. You got this.
We're good, sweet,
It's
girls.
it,
Really
guys.
good, sweet.
Now for Nova Scotia, it's getting pretty junked up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stuff for your stomach.
I think we peel. Either peel
And
or
we're on
we
to
can
third
run our head
stones.
straight back. What's the call? Do you like the run? You can do the run. Let's try the run. Okay.
I'm not sure they're talking about running the same rock. She's looking at the yellow. I thought the hack end was looking at running the red one back.
Yeah. I think they're still not sure.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with playing the yellow one either. You actually, if
Oh, okay.
this is one of those situations that come from the fact that, again, remember, Olivia McDonough, who's throwing now, is the alternate for this team. I don't know how much time she's had to throw with them. She's
Curl.
not a normal member of this team. She's alternate this week and got called into duty here this afternoon. This is close. Oh, actually, just a little thin, clips the red.
Opened it up a bit.
Yeah, lost the red stone. I think that's all the way out of the rings. Boy, if she just gets by that red, she could have picked the one out of the side of the forefoot
Actually, I
that
like
was
here again.
Yep.
causing them some trouble.
Okay, same thing. Roll the same weight. Okay. You got this, guys. Let's do it.
Now, when it came back and took out the shot stone, those two yellows in the rings are pretty much straight across now. If she could run it back, if she could run the guard back now, she could hit either one of them first and still get the double.
Good.
Smaller ad.
Alex's rock. Where? Okay, yep.
Carlin.
Curl if you can. Curl. Hard curl. Hard curl. Girls, you got it. Yep.
Right center.
Really good. Yep.
Yep,
Hard.
keep going.
You got
Right
it.
center.
Almost there. Yep.
Yes. You gotta
Hard,
go.
girls. Close
Right
that gap.
center.
Kylie replaces the
Good
guard.
speed, ladies. Good.
Well, third's last stone. If you're going to think about scoring here, you might have to look at playing the red one back now.
You like running it to hit that one first, or
they're so even. You could hit either one first and get a good shot out of this.
Okay, I just don't think we're rolling on top. But... Same weight.
So just at the last moment, Olivia Guthrie moved the broom in a touch. Olivia McDonough has thrown some up weight on a couple of her hits, and it's maybe just a little more weight than they're used to. Looks like she's got a nice one here. Runs it back.
That's a very nice shot.
And rolls it over in behind the tight yellow guard. It is shot rock and buried on the corner of the button.
Sorry, good seat. Sorry. No, it's okay.
Not sure what she's saying sorry about.
She's greedy. She wanted to hit it that much on the other side of the nose and roll it over to the corner.
That was my fault. It wasn't going then. I shouldn't have on it earlier.
Kate Gaines going to look to play the run back on her own tight guard. Have been off and on. She's got to be close. Needs to hit this first one just about right on the nose. Runs it back. Does catch the shot stone. It actually keeps the run back stone in the rings as well. It rolls over to the side of the 8th. Second shot.
Good line call. Yeah. I was saying whoa, so. I think it was a little bit less than 10.
9-7.
Oh, okay.
If Olivia Guthrie is going to be shot rock, she's going to have to draw, I think. It hangs there for the longest time, but then it really does curl at the end. And in fact, what we've noticed here for the week, having called all the games on this sheet, this side's a little more pronounced. It will hang, and then just really curl hard at the end. So as much as this isn't going to look great from the hacks, I think she can definitely get to the inside corner of that rock with draw 8.
Especially since it's just behind the tee line.
Yep.
Now, we saw this last end. Was that her that threw out here? One of them threw a draw on this side.
Rushers picked it up early. They're talking about need to curl. I'm not sure it does. It'll go on its own. They got to get it here.
Yeah, that line was good.
Well, and as it is, it's going to overlap the guards, and
that's a problem.
Now I don't know if it is there for her last one. She's still got to draw on the other side right now.
We just have to count everything.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I like just a piece of top 4.
Yep. What do you like for ice? Like, she just had that on this.
Probably still there on the outturn side. It's going to look even worse from the hack for the next one.
Top 8's okay.
Yeah, no.
Even here is good.
Yeah, I'm fine. Anywhere's there, yeah.
Okay, you got it.
As much as anything else, she needs to take away the draw path here. So it's not really about burying.
Okay. So really anywhere is top 8, top 4. Just kind of blocking up that middle section. If we can
If you could walk this down, you'd put it just above the maple leaf and the SGI Canada logo.
15-5 probably.
But if it does look like it's going to bury, you may as well take it right into the 4-foot. So this will rely on some communication between the brushers and Kylie Spadoni in the house.
Carlin's rock! Carlin's rock!
Oh, line's good.
Okay.
Yep, still Carlin.
Carlin for sure.
Whoa,
Alex.
Alex.
That's a curl.
Whoa. Just to my broom. Can't be deep.
Whoa.
15-7. Whoa.
That's a pretty nice shot.
Yeah, it might have slid just a little bit too deep. She can follow it down and tap it back.
Yep. Just like a draw weight. Yeah. Tap it a little. Just like back 8.
15-7. It's a fast sheet of ice right now.
Well, and she did get about half, I think, in behind. When we get the camera view from the hack end, we'll just see how much is covered. There it is. Yeah, I mean, she's got to get to the nose with enough to tap it. Or across the face if it's straight draw weight. This is a delicate little shot. You throw the weight for the tap, and if you're anything on the outside, you're going to roll too far. It's still going to be a steal.
Yeah. It's like on this like T line of 4. Yeah, if I can just bump it back a little, so like back 8.
Big shot for the Nova Scotia skip. Final stone here, the 6th end. Trailing by 2, facing 3. Has to get to the nose of this stone, bump it back to stay full 4-foot herself for the single. This is starting to curl. They got to get by the stone at the top of the house, just outside the rings. I don't know if they're getting by. She's going to make contact with it. Fortunate, perhaps, not to push it in. Even at that, it's going to be a steal of 3 here for New Brunswick, and they jump out to a huge 7-2 lead after 6 ends of play. Nova Scotia will have the hammer once again at 7. They got some work to do if they're going to stay in this game.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Well, it was a big steal of 3 for New Brunswick in that 6th end. They now have a 5-point lead as we begin play here in the 7th. They've called for the first stone into the rings.
Okay, hope it dies.
Yeah, probably. Oh, it's coming down.
13-8. Might come down.
It looks like.
I don't know.
No, probably through. It's okay.
That's okay.
That one slides through, and there's nothing wrong with that. It goes back to that tolerance we were talking about earlier. You can't be short on that rock if it's through. At least you haven't given the opposition anything they can use. For Nova Scotia, no secret now. You've got to throw some guards. You're going to have to be willing to ignore a few rocks, try to set something up. You have to think realistically. They have to score 3 here. That still puts you in a position where you got to steal 2 coming home.
Yeah, curl it. Tight. Yeah. Really tight. Okay, well.
It's good, Annie.
I kind of like going through.
It's not touching.
Ideally,
Yeah,
they
over
would have
here.
liked that corner to have
Yeah.
been over more to cover more of the 8-foot, I would think.
Yeah, well, and if you weren't going to throw it way over there, then maybe you should have been touching the center line. I'm surprised they're not trying the tick shot here. You got nothing to lose. If you put it into the rings, you can hit it on the next one.
Kylie's rock.
70. Weight's close. A little heavy.
I'm not okay with back four on the corner.
Yeah, back line. 14-3. It's kind of grinding, but I don't know. No, I think it's true. Might bite. I don't know. Nah. It's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I was surprised Olivia Guthrow actually swept that through. I thought she might just leave it back there. Still in play. The call was to come around. There's a discussion at the other end whether they like the guard. Looks like they're going to stick with the come around. Line looks pretty good for the come around. You can afford to be deep here. You got to have room to get a couple around. Yes, it gives the New Brunswick team time to come and sit down on top of you as she quickly counts and realizes we can't peel the guard yet.
Can't see any of it.
On which side?
On this side?
It's pretty
Okay,
buried.
just come to it, maybe.
Yeah.
Do like back line.
And if you're Nova Scotia here, you have to be okay with them playing this shot. I mean, it's if they make it, it's one you're going to have to deal with yet. But if you're going to get a big end to get back into this, this is what you need. You need New Brunswick playing draws and an end where they'd like to be throwing hits. This might be the last draw you see them throw. She was already wanting to peel the guard this time.
Carlin to get by. Has to get by.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. Whoa. Kylie. You got it. Hard, Kai. Hard, Kai. Yep.
Boy, this is a fantastic shot.
That works.
Not just to get down to it, but she taps it out into the open, so it's no longer buried.
You got it. Light's okay. Little down. Legs down. Annie. 3. Hard, Annie. 2, 3. Hard, Annie. Really hard. 2. All the way, Annie. All the way. 3. Hard. Hard. Whoa, no roll. Yeah. Okay.
Might have got a bite out of that.
Think probably this.
Really big that they got that down far enough to chip off the guard at least. If you leave those two overlapped, it's hard to use them later as well.
Whoa.
For now, New Brunswick will go after the stone on the back of the 8.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Hard. You got it. Hard. Hard for piece. Hard piece. Good sweep.
I'm sorry.
Well, there's rocks at the back, so that's good for Nova Scotia. They want to get as much back there, I guess, as use it as backing.
And it's a pocket. I'd be tempted to come around from the other side. She's going to play the wide out turn now.
Right.
You play the in, and if you crash your own, you might spill it behind the guard and roll another one in and leave that pocket open.
It's just more natural to come the other way.
Yeah, there's no plan B on this side either. It's got to be
You're gonna
dead
have-
buried.
Right, the way it's got to be right.
We're all there. Oh, you have room. Team. Back forward. Hard curl. Hard curl. Hard curl. Whoa.
But if you make whatever you call, you usually come out in pretty good shape, and she does. She's got it buried corner of the button. It's funny, if there was only one guard there, that would be wide open. It curled far enough by the tee line that it's almost completely out in the open, but behind the guard that they had to squeak by. This is in danger of over-curling. Don't want to jam it on the yellows at the back. Just catches a piece of the red. That's enough to get it out, though.
That's that spot that just stays pretty straight, and she got fortunate there, and it held straight.
Great job by the brushers. You can see just catches enough of that stone to redirect the back one. Got rid of that little hanger on that was just on the back line as well without jamming.
Again, she chooses to come out or come with this wide out turn.
One's going to slide just a little too deep.
And going back to what you said, had she done the in turn there, she'd have had the backing.
Yeah, just come around. I don't hate the come around. Okay, that's fine.
It's late enough in the end. It's tough to get rid of all the guards without leaving something for her. You come around, get something in front of the tee line.
Just leave it.
Nothing from the brushers all the way down. They felt it was a little strong. Looks like they're right. It's going to come right down to that stone at the back. Does leave New Brunswick sitting 3, but still room for Nova Scotia to get one in front of the tee line behind cover. And I guess really at this point, 3 stones left to come. You get a good stone buried here. We can't rule out 3 yet. Really need to pick up a multiple count here, and 3 would be ideal. Tight for line here. She's got good rotation. They might be able to hold the line, but I don't know if it's got the weight. And it will just come up against the guard. Another chance for Kate Gaines to try to get one in front of the tee line.
Yep. Okay, hers was just 16.5. Okay. So I like 16. Mine was 15.5.
One rock in front of the tee line here would really
you got it.
take away much of the opportunity that Nova Scotia has got left.
Top 4. Hers is 15.5, I think. So probably about 16. Might need a bit of sweeping, but more? Less?
Staggered guards at the front. If you can make this, Olivia Guthrie might have to play the angle run on the lone red guard just to have a chance to score 2. Got just inside the edge of that guard. Pretty good. Does leave room for Olivia Guthrie to try to get to the inside of it. Just chisel in, stay behind the stagger.
It's a pretty precise shot.
It is.
I think this one's better right now. Just try to get to the inside. Just like back 8 weight.
I think she's got the right call.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it easier to make it, but
not at all.
Just back 8 weight and like tap it back a little, and I think we can also get the roll.
Kate Gaines had a lot of room by the guard. Even if you go back a couple of shots, that stone that's sitting full back 8 foot came by everything, and it had plenty of room by the guard. And look where it ended up. So there's definitely room on this turn to get to the inside of that with that back 8 foot weight that she's talking about. Got a lot of rotation. This is going to hold out there for a while.
It's way out.
Might be a little stronger than back 8 as well. It's probably back line-ish anyway.
What? We're still shot 2.
It's left New Brunswick sitting 2, and I don't see any way to get both of them out. The one is in a pocket.
Do you like hitting and rolling under or drawing under? Yeah. Okay, good call. Fully dialed.
Yeah.
Okay, 10, yeah. Try and roll under, but if you don't, that's fine.
They use their interaction. He wants to just hit it, saying that the most they can get is 1. Honestly, the most they can get is 1 anyway. But, you know, from where the coaches have to sit, he can't necessarily see where all those other rocks are. There's no way to get that back 8 foot rock on the center line out with 1 stone.
Hitting the red anywheres. 10. Whoa, whoa. It's close, leave it. Whoa. 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 She's on. Alex. That's good.
Makes the hit. Loses the shooter, but she will sit 4. Nova Scotia going to have to draw. Needs to just about bite the 4 foot to pick up the single here.
But it isn't finishing a lot. Yeah, I just don't want to. Yeah, you got it, Liv. Just draw behind. Is draw weight still 15 or is it a little? Is it still 15? Okay, so it's slower. Yeah. I think it's the least risky here.
Have to think of these as a cold draw. One of these things we've seen with this particular side of this sheet as well. If you throw this thinking, well, I've got backing, it will run just a little bit longer. She could go right by everything. So this has got to be a cold draw. She was probably back line on her last one. Line looks good.
Looks real good.
Line's
Yeah.
good. Yep.
She's a 15-8.
All you. Whoa.
Should be good.
Looks good. Whoa.
Very nice.
Great judge.
Should be good, and they bring it right in to the corner of the button. Nova Scotia picks up 1. New Brunswick with a 7-3 lead after 7 ends of play. Looks like we're going to carry on to the 8th. Nova Scotia going to need a big steal to get to the extra.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes 1. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
The Canadian curling trials. The thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants. With nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see. Who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf?
Well, trailing by 4 here as we begin play in the 8th end. Nova Scotia going to have to play aggressively, going to have to play, you expect 2 guards, and then they still need some help. They need some mistakes.
Yeah, hard, guys. All the way. All the way.
Part of this, perhaps, there are teams you'd probably see them have decided to shake hands after 7. I think part of what comes into play here is they're still trying to get onto the ice, and they've got 3 more games yet, and they're still alive. Every rock you can throw where you get a chance to learn something about the ice, the speed, your own team, for that matter, especially when they've got an alternate playing today.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm glad to see that they stayed out there, and
Yeah, I think they need the end, right?
they need to get a better feel for the ice, see what it's doing, and get some confidence.
Real wide.
Time clocks are good.
Tons of time. Just under 8 minutes for Nova Scotia. The New Brunswick team still has 9.5.
Okay, you got it.
I don't like coming in at all.
Was that what the call? I didn't
Yeah.
notice. Yeah, she needs to put up another.
Little better. Little out. 2. Make the curl. 3. All there. 2, 3. Only curl if you can. 3. I don't want to.
Well, maybe she wasn't calling it in. She was just gesturing what path they were trying to protect.
Ooh,
But it is going to bite the 12-foot.
Yeah.
It does have a sliver underneath the guards. I mean, they've got to be a little bit careful. You crash the guard goes back.
Edge on edge. Okay, let's do this then.
You got it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
10-5, 10.
We're flashing.
Yeah. That's okay.
This is an unforgiving spot right there because of how straight it is.
It is, and on top of that, you know, they changed the call after they realized it was edge on edge. And how often do you see that? So the skip takes a little more ice because we don't want to crash the guard. It goes back. And then the thrower also decides, well, I'm not going to be narrow. And she's just a little bit back. And I mean, you see that all the time, and not just at this age group. You see that with adult players, too. You get both players compensating for, well, we can't crash the guard. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, light's okay. Like one's fine. Yep. 2, 1. Little out. Yep. 2. Tons of room. Got a curl. 2. 3. Curl if you can. 3. 3. Curl if you can. 3. Yeah, you can curl. Yeah.
Well, now they've got some adequate guards up there. They're going to have to start putting them in now.
They do, yeah.
Edge. Okay. Let's do this. Just move some stuff.
You got it.
One at a time is fine, but you got the potential here to move a couple of rocks, this one.
Whoa. Let it work. Let it work. Carlin.
Hard Carlin for a piece.
Hard car. Hard car.
Hard Carlin.
Okay.
Just going to
That's
straight
fine.
peel the
Center of
guard.
it.
That's good.
Doesn't matter what age group you're playing in either. When you get to this point in the game, you're counting those rocks in the back corner. As soon as there's 5 of them back there, we win. So that's one.
Yeah. I think she called for another guard.
Well, in theory, you could afford to play one more, but it probably makes a little more sense to come in now, and you're hoping for a bit of a mistake.
I think so.
Boy, you get the double over the top, you almost can get all three of them here.
Whoa, wait to save. Carlin. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This is close. She's got one, she's got two, but just stuffs the second one, and will leave the shooter for a corner guard as well. Probably fully exposes that stone that's just biting the 12-foot. You kind of have to come in now. You've only got 4 rocks left. The one in the 12-foot's open.
I think you want to come deep here, though, not
Yep.
high,
Oh,
because
for
you
sure.
got to pile a few in on top of that.
I'd like to see them sweep.
I would too. Well, that came in really, really nice.
Yeah, the line ended up great.
Just needed it to be a little deeper to, with the hopes of getting 3 more piled in there.
Well, that also leaves these rocks a little closer together for Kylie Spadoni to try to go after the double.
Let it work, Alex.
Might have been a little bit out on this.
And this is that spot.
Hard piece, Alex, hard piece, hard piece. Hard for a piece. You got it, yep.
Hard on that red. Good sweep out.
She's got a piece just enough to spin it all the way through the rings and touches the divider.
Just top 12, top 8.
It's got to be deeper than top 12. You need room to get 4 rocks in there. Got a curl. You need this to bury.
Curl it.
There it goes.
Yep, curl it.
Nice shot.
Yeah, I have half.
Half?
Yeah.
Okay, just pick it.
Okay.
10.
Yep. 10. Just pick it. Got it, guys.
Have to make some noise here. Can't be outside and miss everything.
Whoa. Alex.
She's got tighter line this
Yeah,
time.
she's good.
She'll be good.
She's actually
We got it.
very close to making the double, I think. Touches it. Enough to push it back out of the open. And realistically, the game is over.
They're not sure what to do. They know they can't win.
You're never going to chip that guard into the rings to steal 4 with it. So they will shake hands. New Brunswick picks up the win here. It'll go into the books as a 7-3 final. They move their record to 3-2. Nova Scotia drops to 0-3, but they still have several of the contenders to play. We want to thank everybody for joining us here this afternoon. Still 4 round robin draws to come, 2 yet today. The next one will start in just under 2 hours time. Be a draw tonight and 2 final round robin draws tomorrow before the playoffs start tomorrow night. On behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, my partner in this broadcast, Tracy Streifel, we want to thank you for joining us this afternoon and look forward to seeing you for the rest of the event. It is the 2025 U-18 Curling Championships. You've been watching live. We're in Saskatoon at the Nutana Curling Club. And We'll see you again in just under 2 hours' time.